Look at the top of the world. For all of human history, the Arctic has been a frozen wasteland. A dead zone. A place so hostile, so unforgiving, that no military in its right mind would ever try to conquer it. But right now, as you are watching this video, the ice is cracking. Due to rising global temperatures, the Arctic ice sheet is melting at an unprecedented rate. And as the white shield disappears, it is exposing the greatest undiscovered treasure vault on planet Earth. We are talking about 90 billion barrels of undiscovered oil. 30% of the world's untapped natural gas. And a massive, untouched supply of rare earth minerals, the exact materials needed to build everything from your smartphone to advanced military fighter jets. But it's not just about money. It's about power. As the ice clears, new maritime trade routes are opening up. Routes that cut the travel time between Asia and Europe by a staggering 40%. Whoever controls these icy waters will control the future of global trade. The ultimate race has begun. And the terrifying truth? The United States is already losing. Welcome to the Arctic trap. To understand why the world's superpowers are suddenly obsessed with this frozen desert, you have to look at a map differently. For decades, global shipping has relied on narrow choke points, the Suez Canal, the Panama Canal, the Strait of Malacca. These routes are crowded, expensive, and easily blocked by war or piracy. But global warming is accidentally creating the ultimate shortcut. It's called the Northern Sea Route. A cargo ship traveling from South Korea to Germany usually takes about 34 days through the Suez Canal. But if that same ship travels straight across the top of Russia through the melting Arctic, the trip takes just 23 days. That is millions of dollars in fuel saved, per ship, per trip. Russia controls thousands of miles of this new coastline. And they are not just watching the ice melt, they are capitalizing on it. Moscow has explicitly stated that they view the Northern Sea Route as their historic national transport artery. They are building new ports, deploying floating nuclear power plants, and establishing a toll booth system at the top of the world. If you want to ship goods through the Arctic, you play by Moscow's rules. You pay their fees. You use their pilots. But what if you refuse? What if a foreign military decides to sail through these waters under the banner of freedom of navigation, just like the US Navy does in the South China Sea? Well, that brings us to the most dangerous military imbalance on the planet. If you want to fight a war in the Arctic, you need a very specific weapon. You can have the most advanced aircraft carriers, the deadliest stealth bombers, and the best trained Marines on Earth. But if the ocean is frozen solid, your multi-billion-dollar navy is completely useless. You need icebreakers. Massive, reinforced, nuclear-powered leviathans designed to smash through solid sheets of ice, clearing a path for warships and supply lines. And this is where the United States is walking into a trap. Right now, the United States Coast Guard has exactly 2 functional icebreakers. 2. And only one of them, the Polar Star, is classified as a heavy icebreaker capable of handling the deep Arctic winter. But here is the punchline: the Polar Star was commissioned in 1976. It is obsolete, constantly breaking down, and its crew literally has to buy replacement parts off eBay because the military doesn't make them anymore. Now, let's look at Russia. Russia currently operates a fleet of over 40 icebreakers. Several of them are massive, nuclear-powered monsters that can slice through 10 feet of solid ice without slowing down. And they are building more. Recently, Russia launched the Arktika, the largest and most powerful icebreaker in human history. They are arming these ships with anti-ship missiles, electronic warfare jammers, and heavy artillery. The math is simple, and terrifying. In a conventional conflict over the Arctic, the United States Navy would be locked out, frozen in its tracks, while the Russian Northern Fleet moves with absolute freedom. It is a strategic vulnerability so massive that Pentagon war planners are losing sleep over it. But Russia isn't the only threat America has to worry about. While the surface of the Arctic is becoming a militarized toll road, the real nightmare is happening in the pitch black, freezing depths below the ice. The Arctic Ocean is the ultimate playground for nuclear submarines. Why? Because the ice acts as a perfect shield. Thick, shifting ice sheets create massive acoustic interference. It makes sonar almost completely blind. A nuclear-armed submarine can slip under the Arctic ice pack and vanish like a ghost. Neither satellites nor radar can see through the ice. During the Cold War, the US and the Soviets played a deadly game of cat and mouse under the Arctic. But today, the game is back, and the stakes are higher. Russia has heavily fortified the Kola Peninsula, just miles from the NATO border. This heavily guarded fortress is home to Russia's Northern Fleet and their most advanced ballistic missile submarines. If World War III breaks out, these subs won't sail into the open ocean where they can be hunted. They will dive straight under the Arctic ice, park themselves in the silent darkness, and wait for the launch order. From the Arctic, a Russian missile can hit New York or Washington, D.C. in less than 15 minutes. In response, the United States and its NATO allies are scrambling. U.S. fast attack submarines routinely punch through the ice in classified operations to prove they can operate in the frozen Hell's Cape. Fighter jets scramble over Alaska to intercept Russian strategic bombers that probe American airspace almost weekly. The Arctic is no longer a demilitarized zone of scientific research. It is a fully armed, hair-trigger battleground. And just when Washington thought the situation couldn't get any more complex, a new player entered the game. Look at a map of the Arctic. You will see Russia, Canada, the US, Norway, and Denmark. Notice who isn't there. China. Beijing is located over 1,000 miles away from the Arctic Circle. Yet, in 2018, the Chinese government shocked the world by officially declaring itself a near-Arctic state. They announced a master plan called the Polar Silk Road. China understands that whoever controls the logistics of the future, controls the global economy. They are pouring billions of dollars into Russian Arctic energy projects. They are building their own advanced icebreakers, like the Shuilong 2. They are trying to buy old military bases in Greenland and funding massive infrastructure projects in Iceland. Beijing and Moscow, historic rivals, are now forming a terrifying alliance of convenience in the snow. Russia has the geography and the military brute force. China has the endless capital and the economic leverage. Together, they are quietly locking down the top of the world. The next global conflict won't start with a surprise attack in the desert or a massive naval battle in the Pacific. It will start with a silent, invisible border dispute in the darkest, coldest place on Earth. The ice is melting. The trap is set. And the United States is running out of time to catch up. If you want to understand the dark geopolitical realities that the mainstream media is ignoring, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and stay awake.